A very good morning, students. Welcome back. This is your sociology class. Students, last class I have discussed about the social inequality and the exclusions. To explain social inequality, I have discussed the different kinds of problem or the discrimination, like the prejudices, stereotypes, discriminations. Today, I want to discuss about social exclusions. Last class, more or less, I have told all of you that social exclusion, what is actually it. I am repeating it once again. Social exclusion means when you are isolating them and exclude them from your group. When the people who are excluded are not given the opportunities which are given to others. Except their basic food, clothes and shelter, like the medical, educational and the other comforts. It is not accidental, it's a systematic. It is openly done. It is involuntary. The ones who are excluded do not want to be excluded, but we exclude them. After centuries, some people who are excluded lean either to ignore or they protest. Dalits came up with two things. They started making their own association. They converted their regions. Even they converted their religion, Muslims and Christians, Islamism, etc. People excluded once, the year are still excluded, but the issues are changing. To bring about change, the people want to change the whole structure and the habits of their lives also. Now, in our book, we have a term that is a caste system as a discriminatory system. Students, in your book, Indian Society, and the page number 87, please open your book and try to follow your book with me. Correlation between social status and economic status. Now my topic is caste system as a discriminatory system. Okay. So correlation between social status and economic status. There is a close relations between caste and class. The member of the upper caste have better life chances and opportunities to use the resources. Now it is changing. People from Sudra community are occupying higher position and vice versa. They are now taking seats or the positions of the municipality or the higher personality. But it is at a micro level in urban areas where Brahmins are doing the group D works. So, discrimination, we can see it as a exclusion. Number one, discrimination, we can view it as a exploitation, humiliation and subordination. Now, we have to explain that the exclusion. What do you mean by the exclusion? Actually, the untouchables went through the old type of exclusion. They were not given opportunities like others and were excluded from the smallest things, and they were excluded from everything. They were not allowed to take water from the well, palms or lakes that the Brahmin generally used. They were not allowed to take part in festivals, rituals and ceremonies that other would participate in. They had to have a bath with the buffaloes and cows. That is exclusion. Next, that is another discrimination is exploitation. They were given very low salaries and low grade jobs like the washing the bathrooms and washing the utensils. They were given jobs which no one wanted to do and were not paid. They were treated in an inhuman manners and were taken advantage of. So from the exploitation, one point is coming, that is humiliation. Now what do you mean by humiliation? Humiliation means they were not allowed to wear bright clothes full of color, could not use the same road which Brahmin used, had a walk with their heads bowed down while a Brahmin walked by, could not walk with their chappals in front of the Brahmin, so they would hold it in their hands. They would clean up dead bodies and the different types of unhealthy, unhygienic work. They have to do it. And always they have to make a distance from the other caste people. So from the humiliation, from the exploitation, from the exclusions, so another thing we can explain, that is subordination. Subordination, they were below the upper caste and the Brahmins were suppressed. But due to their different kinds of social problems, government has set up some of the rules and regulation for the scheduled caste, for the scheduled tribe. Government makes some of the reservations and some of the benefits for them. Before discussing the government provisions, we have to discuss more about the discrimination. Okay. Now I'm going to discuss about the untouchability. Okay, because in our chapter the main term is inequality and exclusions. So if we want to make a clear view about the inequality and exclusion, so some of the important terms that I have already discussed, that the exclusion, exploitation, humiliation, subordination, untouchability, all these are coming. So untouchability is an extreme and particularly very vicious aspects of the caste system. Obviously it's a part and the portions of caste system that prescribes a very stagnant social sanctions against member of caste located at the bottom of the purity pollution scale. Strictly speaking, the untouchable caste are outside the caste hierarchy. They are considered to be so impure and their mere touch severely pollutes member of all other castes, bringing terrible punishment for the former and forcing the latter to perform elaborate purification rituals. In fact, notions of distance pollution exist in many regions of India, particularly in the south, such that even the mere presence or the shadow of an untouchable person is considered polluting. So students, I hope you know in the rural societies there still now the untouchability is a factor. It's an important factor. Due to the untouchability, various kinds of terms that came, that is exclusion, humiliation, subordination and exploitation, are all equally important in defining the phenomena. Although low caste are also subjected to subordination and exploitation of some degree. They do not suffer the extreme forms of exclusion reserved for untouchables. Dalits experience from the exclusion that are unique and not practiced against other group. For instance, being prohibited from sharing drinking water resources or participating in collective religious worship, social ceremonies and festivals. At the same time, the untouchability may also involve forced inclusion in a subordinate role. The performance of various kind of humiliation and the subordination is an important part of the practice of untouchability. Common instances include the imposition of gestures and defense, such as taking off the footwear in the hand, not wearing any clean and the bright clothes, means the colorful clothes, and so on, as well as various kinds of unhygienic work they have to do due to the upper caste, due to they have to maintain a prejudices. That's why the lower caste peoples are subordinate. So all these forms, students, in your book, page number 90, 91 and page number 93, you can see it, the untouchability and its different forms. Now I am going to discuss about how the state and the government make lots of provisions for them. For them means for the ST and the STs and the other backward classes. Okay. What government done? First of all, reservation. Reservation like the laws, policies, amendments, welfare programs, government done for them. They are meant for those who are socially and economically backward, as they do not have life chances and opportunities which they should have. The government reserved seats for the STs and the SC, and no one else can take those seats from the upper caste. They are reserved in educational institution, jobs, parliament, etc., etc. They have a lot of provisions like age relaxation, low marks or selections even. Government also provides some new laws for them. You have to follow the laws. It is a legal framework, not like the norm. It's a legal framework. Like Brahmin were the only educated people and the British needed the Brahmin support. So laws were made about caste, but implementation was poor. Another section that is the Caste Disability Removal Act in 1850s introduced because they wanted the lower caste to get into educational institution so that they could study and educate themselves. Next, abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability in the Article 17. In the Article 17, if practiced, punishable by law. Prevention of different kinds of untouchability. The act the government carried out on the lower caste, for example, beating them, not letting them wear bright color clothes, washing sheets, etc. In the 93rd Amendment, it is to do with education, and no one can be devoid of education. They shall stay socially, economically and culturally backward. They are social organization, association and political parties and social movements fighting for these classes. Who are they? Satya Sadhak Samaj, mainly for Dalits and women, by Jyotiba Phule. Brahmo Samaj, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. I hope students, all of you knows the name very well. Arya Samaj by Dayananda Saraswati. Dalit Samaj, Satyagraha Samiti. BSP, Dalit Partner Movement in 1970s, etc. For are the examples of the government or the state provisions or the different kinds of activities already done by the government. So students, I hope you understood lots of provisions government already given, but the implementation process is very poor. Students, in our book page number 94 and the 95, we have seen that the lots of government provisions and the state provisions for the ST, SCs and the OBCs government have taken, but as I told you earlier that the implementation process is very poor. Actually, state action alone cannot ensure social change. If we want to abolish the social exclusion and the untouchability and the discrimination, like the gender discrimination or the caste discrimination, so we have to first of all change our mind. We have to build a mind that is very open. Okay, in any case, no social group, however weak or oppressed, is only a victim. We have seen that it's a particularly is a result that the oppressed group, they are the victim. Human beings are always capable of organizing and acting on their own, often against very heavy odds, to struggle for justice and dignity. Dalits too have been increasingly active on the political, educational and the cultural fronts. From the pre-independence struggles and movements launched by people like the Jyotiba Phule or the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ambedkar and the others, in the contemporary political organization like the Bahujan Samaj Party in Uttar Pradesh or the Dalit Sangharsha Samiti of Karnataka, Dalit political assertion has come a long way. So Dalit have also made significant contribution to literature in several Indian languages, especially Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, etc. So students, in our chapter, that is a social inequality and exclusions, all these terms are very much related to inequality. And first of all, we have to make a clear view about the inequality. As I already told that the inequality is the divide on the exclusion, humiliation, exploitation, etc. I hope all of you have a clear view about it. Now, next class I will discuss about the Adivasi struggle. Today I have discussed about the other backward class, STs, SCs, means the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. Next class I will discuss about the struggles of the Adivasis. They are also the depressed class. So that's all for today. Students, I am requesting to all of you, please read out the book, your NCERT textbook, from the page number. I am repeating the page number once again. Page number 86, page number 87, page number 88, page number 91, page number 93, 94 and 96. If you read or if you go through the chapter, I hope you can understand it. Okay. That's all for today. Next class I will discuss the other parts of the chapter. Thank you everyone.